All right, what are we talking about today, guys? Here on the Alex, Kevin, and Murph show.
Brian Wilson not getting an offer from the Giants. Do you think that Sergio Romo can really fill his shoes, personality-wise and on the field?
That's a great question. I think that's probably the biggest question facing the Giants this year. I mean, you could argue maybe how do they handle the emotional hangover of winning a World Series, or you could argue maybe, how's Hunter Pence going to be protecting Buster Posey. But I think the Giants have proved that bullpens are so important in winning a World Series, and having Brian Wilson in 2010, who was just unbelievable,
Lights out.
and having Sergio Romo hit his stride in October of last year in that short window of time helped them win the World Series dramatically. But you're right. It's a huge question. Can they get from game 1 to 162 with a guy who has never been a closer for that long? So this is on Bruce Bochy. This is on Dave Righetti. This is on Brian Sabean. Maybe at the trade deadline, you got to start thinking about that's the kind of thing they might go pick up, because inevitably there's going to be some team in July that's fallen out of the race that has a good closer. You got to start thinking about that. But yeah, you're on it. And I would also think about mixing and matching. How about Santiago Casilla? Everybody kind of was down on him, but he saved 25 games last year.
Yeah, but he was still closer by committee because you still used Romo.
It's like, can you believe in closer by committee? Can you win a World Series with closer by committee? They kind of did last year, didn't they?
They did last year. I think that's why they gave him so much money. Made sure they locked him up 3 years. Was it $15 million?
Sergio or Casilla?
For Casilla.
Yeah, they did. Isn't it kind of crazy? Nobody talks about Casilla as a pitcher because he's not a media personality.
He was a pivotal part to the team last year.
Yeah, and you're right. They did lock him up, and that's a contract nobody talks about at all. So that's what you show what Brian Sabean, what he values in a team. He didn't go try to chase Josh Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
But he went and chased Santiago Casilla. Isn't that
luckily,
funny?
you do have Bruce Bochy to balance out. He works the bullpen. You see what he did in the playoffs going into the World Series. I mean, who works the bullpen better than he does?
You know who else they gave big money to was Jeremy Affeldt.
Who was worth every penny.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny? These aren't the sexy names at all. Those are like reliever, eighth inning relievers. Well, guess what?
The ones
That's how you're
winning
going to
the
win,
ball game at the
right?
end.
That's what you need to know. Whereas some of these other owners are like, I want to have Josh Hamilton because he's Josh Hamilton, or I want to have Albert Pujols. So look at the Angels are stuck with those 2 contracts now that are unbelievably taxing contracts on old guys.
And then you look at take the sabermetrics into it. Really, Torrey Hunter was more valuable in right field than the numbers that Josh Hamilton.
That's pretty incredible.
Last year.
Yeah, and the Tigers valued that. They signed him, right?
They signed him fast.
Yeah.
They made sure they got him.
Okay,
Saber-
time.
Oh, I like that.